Do you struggle? Do you ever struggle? I struggle. Watercolor is something we all struggle with for the most part. It's not super easy, but it's also not super hard if you have the right tips and tricks. So today, if you are struggling with your watercolor paintings, I'm teaching you 4 things that I think would be helpful to help you. Let me know in the comments later if you thought it was helpful. Before we get started, I want to remind you I'm on Patreon. And so if you enjoy extra content, maybe want some mixed media, check out the link down below. We're going to get right to it. And then also, I've got my waitlist for Italy coming up next year, but the waitlist is open. So if you want to join that, or even join me in a couple months in Scotland, links below. Franz, let's get to painting. I'm using a 3/4 inch wash brush, flat wash brush today. We're going to and I'll use a number 6 round also. And I'll probably use a liner brush. No, maybe not. We'll see. But we're going to use the flat wash for our flowers because it's going to give us some interesting shapes. It's going to kind of make us think outside the box because we're not used to using maybe such a pointy brush. And I'm going to start by dipping in and grabbing some orange here. I'm going to make some very, very loose roses in just about here, right here. I'm just going to go around, leave a little white space, and you're just kind of using the corner of the brush to go around and make these little petals. And then you can take off some of the paint, dab, and start to lighten up some larger surrounding petals. And look at how cute and loose that is. Okay, that's our first one here. Then we can do another one with darker paint. Just right here, just a nice dark center. You can even just dab if you wanted to. And then start to go around. Little flick marks, really. There's a lot less control with a brush like this, and that's why I'm using it. So bigger petals, a lot lighter on the outside. Really just takes away a bit of the scary because it's so unpredictable. In my opinion, it helps with the scary. You can let me know in the comments what you think. That's what I think. And of course, today we're talking about some tips that I have to help you to be able to get out of your struggle if you're struggling with watercolor. And we'll get to that in a moment, but I want to start doing this hydrangea down here. So we're going to need a blue. So just grabbing some cobalt blue and a nice light puddle. And I'm going to kind of put this like half, it's a half circle shape. We're just going to do swiping from the outside in 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe 1, 2, and just start filling in 1, 2, 1, 2, filling in some other petals where you will start to see this little ball of hydrangea come to life. And now, of course, this is very loose with this brush, and you can see those shapes. They're just not the traditional round shapes that you get from a round brush, obviously. But I like it because it gives us this sense of whimsy, of letting go, of unpredictability. Hopefully it helps you let go. It's helping me today. Because these are it's just kind of, it is what it is. And I want them to stick out a little bit here and there. I don't want them to be so perfect. So those are our hydrangea. So the first thing I would encourage you to do, just if you're struggling with watercolor, is to do some drills. Let me grab this brush here, and I'm going to get some brown real quick because I want to do like a little flower with a dark brown center. So I'm going to put in this almost half circle. And then with a little bit of yellow, black-eyed Susan, that's what I'm thinking of. We're just going to draw out some yellow petal shapes. So doing some drills, what does that mean? You can take out your brushes and start making a whole page full of leaves, a whole page full of flowers. It really could just be squiggly marks and have fun with it. The point is that you start to practice, especially if it's something that's really bothering you that you don't feel like you're doing well. just go ahead and do a whole bunch of them and see what happens. Let's do another one like this over here. We're gonna do the full middle circle, leave a little white space. Grab that yellow, draw that color down. And so filling up your page not only gives you a sense of accomplishment when you don't know what to paint, or maybe you're struggling with things just turning out how you want them to. But so it gives you a sense of accomplishment, but it also helps you with muscle memory. It helps you really hone in what were the movements I was using with the brush where I liked my outcome the best. You know, how did I find a way to make it work for me? At what point in this painting you can look at your paper and kind of discover where it started to make sense, where it started to come together, where it started to flow. Let's do a cone flower over here. And so we will get, let's get the burnt sienna, that reddish brown, which is so pretty. Another way to just help yourself improve in watercolor is to play with the marks that brushes make. And so if you have a whole bunch of brushes, which a lot of us do, get out your brushes and just start playing and using light pressure, using heavy pressure. Let's get some pink. And just start to make lines and squiggly marks and making longer marks and shorter marks and playing around with what each brush can do. Each brush has a purpose. Each brush has a multiple purpose, but sometimes you can then discover what shapes you're really good at making with what brushes. It can be really helpful. And again, it's that practice and working on your muscle memory so that you're feeling like you know what you're doing. Super important to build that confidence so that you can just keep going and not feel like you're behind or you're missing something. I'm going to put in a few leaves here too. So I'm going to grab this really big brush and just put in some leaf shapes here, press down and kind of swoop around. Maybe just some quick little flick marks to create a nice big leaf. And you can leave some white space for a highlight if you'd like. Another one over here. I like to draw out that point. And then while it's still wet, you can take a little bit of a darker color. Just pop in some color. Let it move, let it spread. I like to clean my brush, dab it, and then just kind of move that paint if it's spreading kind of weird, just to smooth it out a little bit. Let's do some more of those. Over here, dabbing the brush. Maybe some flick marks here to create some quick, easy foliage. Take off some of that paint. I'll do another one right here. Your foliage does not have to be complicated, but sometimes we complicate it or make it difficult, right? Doesn't have to be. And then we'll put in some foliage right here too. So I'm using just the different marks that this brush can make and different shades of green, quick marks. That flick mark is my favorite. So I'm starting to get kind of an angle of this bouquet. I do want to put in my stems, so grabbing just a mixture of these. And a third thing I want to tell you for really improving quickly and getting out of a rut is really that big thing, right? Is to swatch your paints and pay attention. Not only can you practice mindfulness when you're doing that, you're paying attention to what you can see, smell, taste, touch, hear. So if there's a smelly candle, you've got the smell. If you've got a little snack around, there's the taste. But what senses are involved in what you're doing? It's going to help you to really hone in on just being present in the moment. So that is good. And then also what's great about swatching your paints is then you can really pay attention to the different color values that you can make And you can go and put like a dark mark down, and then you can go and put a lighter mark down and just see the range of your paints. It's very soothing, it's very helpful to relax, and it's stress-free because there's no real huge reason or end game for it. It's just to play and have fun and try new things, which I think is so valuable. I like that. I'm gonna do another one over here. I just want to have some things kind of poking out, being fancy and fun. There's a little bit of white on my palette here. So I've got some white and some orange, and I'm just dabbing some spaces here, starting to get a little bit smaller as I go up, because the florals do get smaller and closer together as you go up. Then cleaning and dabbing my brush. And just a little more water would be good. Spreading this out. I think it gives a more natural look. And then you have the lighter and the darker values, which are pretty. So a few little marks right here. I always like to have a bouquet that, you know, doesn't completely make sense. It's got some parts poking out here, over here. Maybe over here we can have some more weight on this side. And it's just fun to play and see what comes out of it. Oh yes, we're taking a number 12. I may not have said that we were using the 12, but I was using it before. Let's see, I'm gonna put in a larger leaf right here. And some flick marks. I like to just kind of fill that in. So let's do some splatter with our smaller brush. I do like the orange, so I'm going to grab that. And another way to enjoy just learning and letting go of the actual end game, and also just kind of, you know, work on your skills, is to do some simple color mixing. Simple color mixing can really help. What I like to do is, like here, I've got the green gold here, and then a simple way to color mix would be just to tap into some other color like brown, put that in, and then, you know, add in that color because I want to get some contrast. I'm just doing some quick flick marks here, and then maybe want to brighten it up or make it blue or whatever. I could add some of this in here, and now I've changed this color again. And that is a fun way just to keep going, adding in different colors and seeing what you learn and what you come up with. So I just want to put in a little bit of this contrasting color. I'm not trying to paint it in any perfect way. I don't love this color here, so I'm just going to pop in some more green while it's still wet. You don't have to wait for things to dry. You can just pop it in wet on wet, and it's quite lovely. And then I do want to put in my stems for these. They're still a little wet, but I'm just going to grab paint. I want a thin mark, so I'm going to dab on the paper towel to remove some excess water. And I'm going to do not a totally straight line, but a nice thin arcing line down the middle. Then little diagonals. Connect everybody together. And they're so happy. And now look at how cute that is. I love doing that. This is one of my favorite ways to do flowers. Flowers on a stem. All right, another stem down the middle. Boop and boop and boop and boop. Connecting everyone together. They're all pretty happy. All right, and then we're gonna do that same thing with a lot of these leaves. If it's a leaf that's large, I do 2 of these little marks. A little one here, just to give everybody an easy way to connect to each other. I'll do 2 here. And so let me know in the comments when it comes to the practice exercises, what have you done? What have you tried? What are you going to try now because you watched this video? And I'm curious if any of this does help you in your struggles. We all struggle, sometimes from time to time, sometimes on an ongoing basis with our art. And it's just normal, and that's okay. It's just, how do we get through it? What do we learn in the process? All right, I'm gonna dry this and come back, and then we'll see what other layers we can add. I think I really want to add something kind of like this. Just some loose blue flowers right up here. Just quick, like little flick marks like this, kind of creating my own little flower. I don't know what I'd call it, but I'm gonna make it a little bit taller. Just for some blue in another place. Okay, I'm tempted. I'm doing it. Tempted to add one here, so I am. You like to have these contrasting colors, like the oranges and the blues, but you also want to zigzag your colors so that your eye is just kind of zigzagging around the page, and things also feel a little bit more balanced that way. So I'm going to put in a stem. I'm just going to connect all these little guys. I don't know what this is, but it's fun. I dig it. And just let that spread around. So we've got this whole thing here. There's not a lot of contrast. I'm almost tempted to leave things fairly the way they are. I do like what's going on. And maybe we could add like a little bit of contrast with the blue here. Add a little bit of the dark for the centers. So dark orange, dab. And then just a little bit here. I really do love the roses this way versus with a round brush. I don't usually love my roses with a regular brush, and that's why I kind of feel like this center part should be wonky too with the other brush, but that's okay. Then a little darkness here I think would be nice. Still not too terribly dark. I'm mixing it with the water, but just a little bit of contrast, maybe even some in between to fill in some of the white space. But I don't want to put this color everywhere. That's definitely the temptation to put it everywhere. And I'm just going to stop. I'm actually going to poke in a little bit of this color here too. And just let it do its thing. Whatever happens, happens. Alrighty, friends. I think this painting is done.